Kin of Cain by Matthew Harffy. Read by Barnaby Edwards. Chapter 1. The scream silenced the mead hall like a slap to the face of a noisy child. A chill ran through the throng. The brittle laughter died on lips that quickly twisted from smiles to scowls. The warm hubbub of moments before was shattered as easily as the thin skin of ice that formed on the puddles in the courtyard outside. One of the hounds looked up from where it gnawed a bone by the hearth fire and whimpered. Alf Herrer, the shop, lowered his lyre, the last interrupted notes jangling in the air. Octa set aside the mead horn he had been drinking from. His senses were dulled by the drink, but not enough that the small hairs on the back of his neck did not prickle with the sound of anguish that came from outside the hall. He turned to his friend Bassus, who sat on his left, the huge warrior's brow furrowed. Bassus met his gaze and opened his mouth, but before he could speak, another scream rent the chill night that smothered the great hall. There were words in that scream. "The Night Walker! The Shadow Ganger brings death!" Night Walker. Shadow Goer. Octa felt bony fingers of terror scratch down his spine. He shuddered, hoping none of the other king's warriors would notice. He had not long before joined the king's Yacithus, and some of the men were wary of him, he knew. They had feasted, eating, drinking, and boasting, trying to ignore the one who haunted the dark winter paths. They had prayed, some to the old gods, others to the king's new Christ god, in the hope that the night devil would prove to be nothing more than a wild animal. A man could hunt an animal. Arrows would pierce a wolf or a bear's flesh. But deep down, they had all been expecting more screams in the night, more death stalking the shadows. Few of those in the hall had seen the remains of the people who had been slain by the beast, but the tales of the corpses, ripped and raw, bones smashed, limbs removed, had reached them all. This was not the work of an animal. This was something else. Something evil.